I can't hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Hear us now? Yeah. We got about 8 or 9 people already on, so we're just going to mute until everybody gets on.
I had a video, but I thought it was a little distracting, so
And guys, we're going to give everybody just another minute or two to get in. I know we got a lot more people signed up, and it's just turned 4, so give everybody 2 or 3 more minutes to get in on this webinar. Kelly, Ashton, me, and Claudia will be on mute until we start, and then we'll do that so you won't hear us for a few minutes. And then we don't have you guys where you can talk. We have all of y'all on mute as well, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. So if y'all give everybody maybe another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll start. Gives you plenty of time to go get a beverage. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started with our webinar today. I really appreciate everybody tuning in for our virtual happy hour today. I'm drinking a little Red Stripe, and I think which is Corona should be outlawed because of the name. They need to change the name from Corona to something else. I personally like Corona, but I will never drink Corona again until the thought of this coronavirus escapes my mind. But anyway, thank you all very much for being with us. We wish we were doing a virtual, not a virtual happy hour, but a reality happy hour with you all. Maybe one day soon we can be back over at Steel Hands or somewhere of that nature and have a few drinks together and celebrate. I think we talked about having a Mother's Day, Easter, 4th of July, Cinco de Mayo, October celebration all together at one time, maybe when this thing's all said and done. So hopefully that'll happen. So anyway, so today with me, I think most of y'all know me, I'm Gary Pickren, Blair, Cato, Pickren, Castelline, and with me are our 3 extraordinarily wonderful and talented marketing directors. We have Claudia Baker here. She is here in the Columbia office, and then we have Ashton, which would be on that way. I don't know if she's that way on your screen, but she is in our Lexington office. She just graduated South Carolina and has started with us there. Claudia, by the way, owned her own marketing agency back in the day, and so people used to, like yourself, used to go hire her to give you the information she's going to start sharing with you today. So she's very well versed on that. And then below me here, I don't know if she's on your account, your screen below as well, but this is Kelly Morgan, and Kelly is in our Greenville office. Kelly has been in some form or fashion in real estate for many years in Tennessee and in South Carolina, and she knows more about real estate than really anybody should. But she's a marketing extraordinaire up there in Greenville, and so she's also going to be sharing some of her information. So we have 6 things we're going to do today, 6 items we're going to talk about in the next hour, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have some breakout sessions that we'll tell you about when those are scheduled. So if you like a particular topic that we're going to go in deeper dive in, we'll tell you when that date's going to be. Like one of the first topics Kelly's going to go over, we're going to have a full hour on that coming up here real soon. But before we start the meeting, I will tell you something that we just developed here at Blair Cato, which I'm very excited about. July 13th through 17th, we are going to have a new agent webinar series, and it's going to be Monday through Friday. It's going to be 11 a.m. to noonish each of those days, and we're going to have a topic each day that a lawyer in our office is going to go over. So the first day is going to be highlights of the contract. It's going to be about 1 hour of the most important parts of the contract. At the end of the hour, then we will follow up by sending a 2-hour video to all of the agents who attend so they can see that, the full-length video of all about the contract. On the second day, we're going to go over the HUD statement and the closing process. We're going to talk to the new agents about how the HUD's put together, how numbers can vary, like the taxes can be prorated, before tax bill, and then how they're prorated after tax bill and things of that nature. On the third day, we are going to go over, what are we going to go over on the third day? Third day, we're going to go over agency, how to explain buyer agency with a little bit of how new agents market. The fourth day, we're going to do seller disclosure form, which is going to take the full hour. And then the fifth day is going to be probably the best day. And I think Cynthia will probably teach that day. It's going to be questions that every new agent gets, but may not be able to answer. So things of like, should I get owner's title insurance? What's the difference between joint tenants with right of survivorship deed and a tenants in common deed? Do I need a survey? Things of that nature. So that agent will get that information as well. So we're going to do that for 5 days. Each day they will have a take home, whether it's a video, a worksheet that has the answers on it for them, or whether it might be, I actually have an ebook that I'm about done with on seller disclosures, about 70 pages. So more information they'll need. So hopefully any of you guys that feel like you're new agents, or even some of you seasoned agents would just like to refresh on some of this stuff, we'll have information coming out about that very shortly, but that will be June 13th through 17th. All right, and we're going to do that every quarter. All right, so pass that along to all your new agent friends. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start with item number 1. So Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you, and Kelly's going to talk about a really exciting platform that I think is fantastic. So go ahead and take it over, Kelly.
Okay, so I assume everybody can hear me. Meet Alana. If you haven't met Alana, you're about to. You may have already met her, you just don't realize you have. You've received text from her or whatnot. But she is our brand new, I'd say, file-based AI customer service support person. You can reach her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the neat thing about this is it's not just, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, but it's not just centered around you. It's not a bot. You don't have general questions. You can ask questions to this number that I'm about to give you, and I'm not allowing me to share here. Here we go. But you can ask questions solely for the purpose of finding out stuff on your particular file. You don't have to have a login ID. You don't have to have a user ID or password or anything. It strictly goes off of your phone number. It logs your phone number. And so you could ask it a question. It's not rolling. There we go. You can ask it all kinds of questions. You're going to see the questions here, but you can ask it anything from when is my closing? Have you received the earnest money deposit? All the questions that we tend to get asked multiple times, you obviously can ask. But I would like if y'all could just step into the chat feature and because this is a system that learns every single time it gets a text. So it's kind of like Alexa or your Google Home. Anytime you ask it a question, if it doesn't have the exact answer for you, it does learn from it. You can also, when you start texting, by the way, can I get everybody to get this number down? Can y'all still see the number up there?
We can see the number on above your head, yes.
Are you not seeing the screen?
We don't have your screen share yet.
How about now? It's saying you have it. Do you see that? Yes, see it? All right, great. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. But anyway, if you will go on ahead and get these numbers, we're going to save them into your phone. We'll also send you information after this webinar, but save it. And anytime you have a question, whether you're going to have a Columbia number and a Greenville number, my Greenville agents obviously are going to text the Greenville number, and you can say, when's my closing and whatnot. Everything that you've just seen in this video right there, actually, you could ask. So we're super excited about that. There's several other things. There's your number right there. Sorry about that. There's several other things you can also do with this. You can upload documents. You can get wire information. Can y'all see this? Because it's going really screwy. It keeps blacking out on me. Okay, but you can upload docs. There's another great feature that you're going to see right here. If y'all can see this really good. These are actual conversations. You're going to see where this is auto-generated. It's a chat transcript. And you'll receive, as soon as you send us an order, you'll receive notifications along the way. A lot of times you don't get your email. This saves you that. It lets you know if you need to go check your email, for instance, to go look at a settlement statement or whatnot. You'll also see the response. This response right here, although it was auto-generated, the person who responded to it, she thought it was a real person, and she got a real answer. You'll see she had multiple files with us. But it answers a specific question for each file. It automatically recognizes your phone number. The best way to explain this is Alana sits on top of your particular file, and everything is within that file she can disclose to you. So super excited about that little snippet. Now, the other great thing about Alana is a seller net sheet. I've seen a lot of agents use this in the way of an icebreaker. For instance, you could go up to someone and say, how would you like to know how much money you could walk away with if you sold your home today? All you have to do is text Alana, seller net sheet, and it's going to punch back with a link you're going to click on. You're going to answer just these few questions right there. Super easy. Takes less than 3 seconds, okay? Right through there. And then after that, it sends you the information, but it also provides a PDF that you can send, all right? So the next thing that we're super excited about is we have joined in a partnership. Yes, we jumped on the bandwagon. Everybody has partnerships. I've seen a lot with title companies and real estate companies. We're not doing that because we're doing something that actually benefits you. And what we've done is partnered up through Breakthrough Broker. And what it is a marketing platform all geared around real estate agents. Real estate agents actually created it, so they know what you need and know what you want. And there's a few really exciting parts of this that I'm going to talk to you briefly, and then we can get in a breakout session at a later date and kind of really dive deep. But my favorite part of this is the AMP. That stands for Automated Marketing Packets. So anytime this is directly linked to, and this is free, nothing in here costs money except for our next little thing that I'm going to show you, but that's because you're buying leads, not leads, you're buying addresses. So anyway, the AMP thing, as soon as it connects directly with your MLS, and as soon as you put a listing in there, 24 hours later, guess what? You're going to get a whole packet full. You don't have to do anything to get it either. You're going to get a whole packet full of marketing information. It's already pulled pictures from your MLS listing. Hopefully you have set up your profile correctly and it has your picture, so therefore it's going to have your picture. It is not co-branded in any way. Now, I had somebody in my office earlier I was talking to about this, and they said, yeah, okay, but that's what they always say, but at the end of the day, they have to pay for something. No, you don't. This is absolutely free, and there's a ton of other stuff on this website that we're going to share with you that you also have access. You have full access because we're partnered up with this company. And the other thing it's excited about is geo-farming mapping tool. I'm sure several of you guys are sending out postcards. Well, whenever you get your automated marketing packet, it gives you the choice of postcards, flyers, and whatnot. Let's say you want to do a postcard. The easiest thing for you to do is click on your postcard. You want to send one, but you can actually choose an area that you want to go to, move the pinpoints, also enter the information you want. Do you want it to be a renter or a homeowner? You can tell how long, obviously, it's been in their home. But put your zip code in, and you can make it as small or as large as you want. So, and the prices on that are minimal. 7 cents for the mailing list, and then 54 cents for each print list. So super, I think you're definitely going to find the benefit with especially these two items. But There's a lot of other items involved. Oh, I can't get off it. There's a lot of other things that I think you'll also find beneficial. Anytime you go on the site, you always see these trending updates. Those trending items are things that the agents, thousands of them are signed up for this, but not in our areas, that they're using, that they're finding is popular. Again, all of these are free. The only thing you pay for is the mapping, where you get the addresses and the postcards for them to be sent out. And those postcards, by the way, will be sent directly from Breakthrough Broker. You don't even have to do anything in order to get that sent out besides upload everything. Again, we will have detailed information. These are just some other items that you can get. Spanish marketing material, that is really, really big right now. So if you have the ability to market the Spanish population, do it. This right here is huge. But as you can see, several different documents is all available to you. We're going to make sure you're signed up if you've entered into this webinar, and we'll send you a registration. Make sure you sign up, change your profile, and you'll be set. So hopefully y'all are as excited about this little new feature like we are. And that was for another presentation I did, so we'll ignore that. I've had 2 other webinars today. They'll work out.
So the neat thing that Kelly showed us first was Alana, and I like Alana a lot because there's 2 things I think most people are already using Alana for, is a seller net sheet, and they're also, you can type that in and get that seller net sheet, comes right to your cell phone. It's free. You can also do buyer estimate, and you'll bring a buyer estimate right to your cell phone for free. And you can use them as much as you want. You don't have to have an open file or anything. It's just right there immediately. And then being able to communicate, what time's my closing, I need a copy of the deed or whatever. A lot of that information is there. And as Alana gets smarter, she'll have even more things that she'll be able to do for you. So that's the first thing I think is very neat. As far as the Breakthrough Broker, there's 2 things that are really cool about the Breakthrough Broker. As Kelly said, once you get in with the Breakthrough Broker and get your profile set up, which is all free, we'll sign you up for it. You're going to start getting an email every time a listing goes into MLS, and it's going to come with 10 marketing pieces, 2 are social media posts, and everything is marketed with your materials, your name, your colors, the picture of your house, and you can change it so easily by clicking on a button and selecting what you want, and then it's yours, and it's free, and you can do whatever you want to with it. And as I told somebody the other day, they said, well, we can do our own marketing here. I said, yeah, but you're not getting it done in hours. It's taking you a day or 2 after the house goes in MLS. Take this and use this as a supplement, and then when you finish, once you put this out within an hour, then you come back in with your own stuff that you want to use, but you're already on the market. And then the other thing that Kelly showed, which is great, is that mailing piece that, you know, you can select. If you're listing a house, say in Spring Valley subdivision, within a day, you can have that entire neighborhood blanketed for, was it 51 cents? I think they charge for the printing and the postcard and the mailing. I mean, you don't have to pay somebody to get a list. You don't have to pay somebody to sort the list. You don't have to pay somebody to go get the printing done. You don't have to go pick it up from the printer 2 or 3 days later. You don't have to get stamps and put stamps on them. You don't have to run back down to the post office. I mean, that takes you a week or 2 to get all that done, and you're having to pay somebody for it. This allows you to take care of that and not have to pay for somebody to do all that. They do it all for you. You never even see it. It's all good. It's done. If you're in by 2 o'clock, it's done the same day. So a lot of really cool things there. And as Kelly said, that just scratches the surface. So now we're going to go ahead and turn over to Claudia. Claudia's going to talk about a platform that everybody's familiar with, Facebook. And she's going to talk about some things you may not know about Facebook on how to market. There's a couple of agents in town that I think have really just killed it on Facebook marketing, and their numbers show it. So she's going to tell you a couple of cool things about it, and then she'll have a breakout session on it later on.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gary's going to kind of drive the ship for me as I sit here in the background. So, anyway, Facebook, most of y'all, I'm sure, are on Facebook personally. So what I'd like to ask in the chat right now is how many of you have a Facebook business page? So if you go down to the chat, just hit yes if you have a Facebook business page, or you can type no if you do not. Just real quick, I want to see how many of us on here do. Okay, so it looks like mostly, oh, okay, we've got 1 no. Okay, all right, so it is imperative that you have a Facebook business page. 1.3 million people are using Facebook daily. So you know that there's a huge audience out there to be reached. And what I want to talk about today is your Facebook business page alone. And in the breakout session, we will get more into the specifics of different types of marketing campaigns and basically today is just going to be an overview of your Facebook business page and how to create a post and boost it. So I hope y'all can see my screen here. I guess, can everybody see it? Okay. Okay, so this is Facebook business pages for agents. And when you go into your Facebook business page to create a post, you see there I've got test written for the post. And then down below, there's an option to select boost post right there. So that is where, once you click boost post, you can page over, you're going to be taken to a page that it's where you're going to set up all the specifics for boosting that post. And it's going to require you to select a target audience. Personally, I think the first thing, you can kind of go in order, like it says audience. So you're going to select your age range. Well, if you are listing a house and it's in an area where, you know, very young families live, young professionals, that kind of thing, you might want to tighten that age range up a little bit, you know, maybe 28 to 45 or something like that. If it's an older couple you're, you know, targeting because it's a more seasoned neighborhood, then you might want to, you know, maybe go to the higher end, like 50 to 65 or something like that. If it's, you know, a patio home or something that they would be more attracted to. So that's where you're going to select the specifics for your post. So Gary, page over. Yes, so here we go. So target audience by age. So right there is where you're going to go in and you're going to select how old what age range you're targeting for that. The next thing you're going to do, you can go ahead and page over, is you're going to select your target audience by location. So, you know, if you want to target the households in the 29205 area, that's what I've selected here for this particular slide. You can select it for any area or, you know, all over Columbia if you wanted to. But we'll get to that in a minute because there is a range of an audience that you want to target for each post. So you want to go in and select the zip code. If you know that, you know, this is a particular, maybe not a starter neighborhood, but maybe a step up, then you want to target people who are in starter neighborhoods who might be stepping up. So you can get it down to a very specific range geographically. So you want to page over? Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is Facebook offers detailed targeting demographics, and you can see on this slide where it says detail. I feel weird not driving the ship. I'm wanting to circle things, and Gary's not circling the right things. So detailed targeting. This is where you're going to get very specific, and you're going to target by their financials, like their income, and their interests and their behaviors. And you're going to type it into this box. So you're going to search for a particular behavior or income or that kind of thing. Now on this slide, I have different examples of your financial demographic over on the left, and in the middle, it becomes a little bit more specific with home ownership, first-time home buyer, homeowners, renters, like who exactly you're targeting. And then the third picture is a behavior. So someone who's likely to move, a new mover, a recent home buyer, and a recent mortgage borrower. Can't talk. So this is going to help you get very, very specific. And the reason you want to be very specific is because you want your target audience. Gary, page backwards. Okay, do you see the little meter right there, and it's specific and broad? You want that ideally to be between 40 and 60,000. That is a great target audience. So this one, because we haven't entered anything, is going to be fewer than 1,000 people. But once you start entering the income and the interests or behaviors, it's going to broaden that. So you want it to be somewhere between 40 and 60,000 is what is recommended for real estate agents who do see the biggest bang for their buck on Facebook ads. Okay, click. Okay, so how much do I spend on a boost? This is all up to you and what your financial goals and budget is going to be for each particular post or new listing. You know, I've seen where people will put, you know, thousands of dollars on one particular ad. And of course it goes crazy because unfortunately we live in a world where it's pay to play. So it's all up to you on what your goals are, but I will tell you that the most successful posts are the ones that have, well, I should say the most successful accounts are the ones that spend between $250 and $500 a month on boosting their posts. So for this particular one, I've got it running for 20 days and the total budget is $60. Well, it looks like did we lose Kelly? Yeah. I think we might have lost Kelly. I think that for the success of a post, I think running it for 5 to 7 days is probably where you want to be, somewhere in that range. You can always go back and reboost it if it hasn't gotten the attention you've wanted it to get. They recommend spending, well, the least you can spend is $1 a day. But for this one, I've got $3 a day, and it looks like from the audience that I had that you would possibly get, what does that say, 330 to 970 people per day. So I think that was without selecting any particular specifics on the demographics of the target audience. Gary, I know last time we did this webinar, we had a question about how that interferes ethically.
Yeah, you've got to be real careful with the fair housing in there and that you're not limiting certain protected groups out. Obviously, you can't redline certain areas and things of that nature, but do recall or do remember back to the classes they have taught over that at CCRA. We've had some classes on, and there's also been a core class on it. I'll take an example. It's discriminatory to discriminate against somebody who's in a family, but it's not discriminatory to discriminate somebody or to push for a family. So, for instance, I can't try to advertise things that would discourage a family, but I can advertise things that would encourage a family. So when you're trying to limit, you could actually limit this to families because it's not discriminatory to try to push toward them. It would be discriminatory to eliminate them. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that, that you got to be very careful that you're not doing anything that could be seen as discriminatory. I think the number one thing would be redlining certain areas out that you don't want to target and things of that nature. The age thing kind of gets close on the borderline. It doesn't make sense that I need to send Facebook ads to somebody who's 14 years old. They're not going to buy a house. So I don't know why that would be an issue. But you just got to be careful, a little bit careful with that.
Yeah, and we got that question last time we did this webinar, and it was really good because Gary was able to address that, because I do think that that's something that a lot of agents are leery of when they're posting because they're afraid they're stepping on toes ethically. But here's your expert right here. He just told you you're okay to do that. So don't be afraid of that. This is all just a very general overview on how to get started with your Facebook ads. That is very general, very basic. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. If you want to call me or shoot me an email, whatever it is, I can kind of walk you through some things. And this is also where you can use Breakthrough Broker when you're setting up your social media content. There might be something that you want to boost that you've created on Breakthrough Broker. So all of this kind of goes hand in hand. But we are going to get more into, there are certain behaviors that you can target. There's a way to upload email lists and target specific people that you've dealt with before. Like if you have clients that, you know, it's been 5 years since they bought their house and maybe they're looking to, you know, upsize, downsize, whatever, you can target those people through specific email addresses. So we will get more into that type of targeting and Facebook ads when we do our breakout session. And the breakout session for Facebook and Instagram, I've got it here on the slide. It'll be July 14th at 11 a.m. And Ashton and I will be doing that together. I'll be handling the Facebook side of it and she'll be handling the Instagram. So we'll just make a social media hour out of it. And in the meantime, until then, if you have questions, you're welcome to email me at claudia@blaircato.com, or you can call me here at 400-8600, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have and walk you through doing your Facebook posts the first time.
So when, before Claudia came to work with us, we never posted or boosted posts. We just would post them, and then whatever 1,400 people that we were friends with or liked our page would look at them. And so our interaction was not very good. And then we weren't getting a lot of bang for the buck for the amount of time that we were spending creating the post. It really wasn't worth the effort. So Claudia came in and she's done a great job of being able to boost the post to exactly the people we're wanting to boost it to. We don't really market to the public. We market to other real estate professionals, lenders, and agents. And so we have it, she's been able to lock it down to just those particular demographics so that we're not spending money marketing a real estate agent class to a doctor. I mean, they're not going to come to my real estate agent class. So why would I market there? So she's been able to get it to where we're marketing what we want to market to. And the neat thing is what she'll teach you next time is how you can actually take your influence list, your list of 200 or 300 people that you deal with, and you can actually upload that into Facebook, and then it will only put that ad to those particular people, which starts lowering your cost. And that's the big thing. When we started doing Facebook ads, I didn't want to spend a ton of money on it, and we really haven't spent a ton of money on it, and it's done very well. So I've been on Instagram or Facebook for years and had never, ever done it. And now I feel like, even though a lot of people feel like Facebook isn't the tool it used to be, I think it's actually a little bit better now because you can actually pinpoint who you want to market to. So, and there's several agents in town, as I said, that are killing it on it. All right, now I'm going to turn this over to Ashton. So Ashton's going to talk to us now. If you want to go ahead and I'll unmute you there. So I think you're unmuted. There.
I think y'all are.
I got it now.
All right, I'm going to mute, but Ashton's going to be talking to you about Instagram. And Ashton, let me stop screen sharing. Ashton is in our Lexington office. She has graduated from the University of South Carolina, and she will be joining us. She's actually joined us now in the downtown office, but she'll be moving over to Lexington and will be over there to help you all with all your needs. So go ahead, Ashton, and take over.
All right, guys. So I noticed some of you guys were also on the last webinar we had. So some of this is a relay of information. I'm going into a little bit more detail this time. I know that last time I took a poll and asked how many of you have an Instagram account. This time I want to take a poll and see how many of you have an Instagram business account. So if you do have one, just write yes. And if you do not, go ahead and just write no in the chat for me. I'll just wait for that. No. Wow, lots of no's. Okay, so this will be really helpful for you guys. I'm also going to be in that breakout with Claudia talking about Facebook and Instagram marketing. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and give me a second. Okay, so going along with Facebook, both are critical. Instagram and Facebook are critical to have for your business. And go ahead and set up a Facebook profile before you set up your Instagram, because you're gonna need both of them to market. I would say, as Claudia said, Facebook is a lot of the older, I'd say 35 and up. That's where that demographic is, whereas Instagram is mainly your millennial and Gen Z crowd. We're very visual people, and that's what Instagram is all about. But being on Instagram is so important for your business because you're missing a key demographic. This is your first time home buyer, and people who are just starting off in families. So getting on this is critical for you and your business. And the first step, once you have made your Instagram account, is going to be to create an Instagram business profile. And so with your Instagram business account, you're going to be able I also want to apologize, guys. I'm sitting outside, so if you have trouble hearing me, I apologize. I can repeat anything in the chat below. But with an Instagram business account, you're going to be able to reach your target audience of buyers and sellers, and you're going to be able to view specific insights on who is interacting with your post, how many people your posts are reaching, the age demographic that you're reaching, male, female, things like that. You're also going to be able to create ads and sponsored content. And to create this, you have to have a Facebook account, so they're intertwined. With the cost of that, it's going to be about $7 per 1,000 views. So if 1,000 people look at your ad, then it's going to cost you about $7, which I would say is a pretty decent price. And it's just going to give you a deeper look into who is interacting with your post. Below, I kind of have some visuals for everything that you get with a business account. So there's different business tools connecting your Facebook and your Instagram. You can help reach your audience and give contact information, view your insights, and then promote your post. Yep, so from there, I want to talk about how important engagement is on this app. So Instagram is based on algorithms. And so the more people that interact and comment and like and share your post, the more likely you are going to be to go to the top of the timeline, which is where you want to be, and the more likely you are to be seen. So some ways that I discussed last week, and I'll discuss again, are to drive user engagement is through sponsored content, and then also engagement groups. And I want to give you guys some different ways that you can create an engagement group or join an engagement group. So I said last week, you can create your own by asking your buyers and your clients to join an engagement group with you and comment and like on your post in exchange for you doing the same for them. You can also talk to title companies, law firms. Like I'd be happy to help you start this. If I'm going to give my contact information in the end. So that's one way to create them yourself. You can also do this by going to different agencies or different websites and accounts who have a large following on Instagram and messaging them on the app and seeing if they are part of an engagement group and asking if you could be a part of it as well. And that's going to help you get into those. So then another thing I wanted to talk about this week that I didn't get into last week is adding Instagram stories and highlights to your account once you're on there. I use our account as an example. So for those of you who don't know what an Instagram story highlight is I put a little arrow next to it. It just allows you to showcase some of your different Instagram stories, which are 24-hour pictures that you can post, and they'll pop up in this little circle at the top where your profile picture is. And some ideas that I thought would be really awesome for agents to put in their highlight reel is testimonials from clients. If they have a new listing, go ahead and create a story for it and add it to your highlight reel after the 24 hours is up. Photos of awards that you've received, photos of you at events, also video marketing. I know Gary's going to get into BombBomb a little later, but that's a tool that you can also use for your Instagram. We post Gary's legal tips onto his Instagram through Instagram TV. I'll get more into that as well in the breakout, but this really just lets someone go to your profile and see what you're all about, see what new listings you have, and see everything that you have to offer for them. So this is our example of our Wednesday webinar story we have, and then adding it to your highlight reel is really simple. Okay, and then the last thing I have for you guys, I talked about this last week as well, is different hashtags you can use as a real estate agent. I have some listed here, and I really want to focus on the ones where you can really target your demographic. Example, city home for sale. So you could put hashtag Columbia home for sale, hashtag Forest Acres real estate, you know, put your own name, put your office that you work with, different things like this. Using the more hashtags, the better, because you never know who's going to be scrolling through or looking at those hashtags, and you might pop up. And this really helps you target your demographic. So, one second.
Hey, while you're doing that, can you explain, I'm 50 years old, and you've explained it to me, what the heck are hashtags? There's some people here probably know what it is and probably laughing at us, but there's other people probably on this who like, I don't understand. I see hashtag all the time. I just thought it was a funny way of saying something's important. It's hashtag. So what is a hashtag?
So basically, a hashtag allows you to put your post into a niche. When you go to Instagram, there's a whole, when you go into the search and discover part of the app, there's different hashtags that are trending and popular, and they just allow your post to be seen by more people. And it's more of just creating a unique place. And if someone is searching for it, they're going to be able to find your post a lot easier by using that hashtag or clicking on that hashtag. So the main thing is when you use them, you're allowing your post to get more exposure by using these hashtags.
So if I wanted to find out more about Disney World, I could go to Instagram and type in hashtag Disney World, and everybody who's posted anything about Disney World would show up.
Yes.
And I could look through all their posts.
Yes.
And if I like them, I could like their post, or I could start following them, right?
As long as they've used the same hashtag.
So if you use a hashtag, anybody who's used hashtag Disney World would show up.
Yes.
And then if I want my stuff to go into that hashtag, then if I posted a picture of me and Disney, I would put hashtag Disney World, and it would go into that one, so that when you were looking at hashtag Disney World, you would see my post, look it, like it, and hopefully follow me, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Learned something new today. Cool.
All right, I'm going to give you guys my phone number really quickly. You can text me if you have any more questions. I'm also going to be on the breakout with Claudia talking more about Instagram, but the phone number is 864-706-6453.
You'll type that into the chat room there as well so they can see it. And
Okay.
Claudia, you wanted to add something
Yeah, I
to
just
that?
wanted to tag on to what Ashton was saying. So she showed you how you can do an Instagram story and add it to your highlight reel and all of that. Well, the important thing about setting up your Facebook page correctly is that you will link it to your Instagram page, so that way anything you post on Instagram, you can send directly back to your Facebook page. Unfortunately, they haven't fine-tuned it so you can do it the other way around yet. There are a couple of platforms you can use. One is Hootsuite, where you can post to everything all at one time, but you can't post to your story from Hootsuite. I can talk about that later. But if you post to your Instagram story and your Facebook and Instagram accounts are linked, it will automatically go to your Facebook story as well. So it's going to be seen on both platforms. And there was something else I was going to say about hashtags, but it's left me.
So
but Ashton and I will get into all of that next time.
one thing I think is very important, Ashton hit on this as well, is a lot of agents are like, well, I don't know what to put on social media. I don't like doing it or whatever. There's two things to kind of look at. One is you look at your business, and so you want to put your business on there. Well, what do I want to put on there? Houses when they sold, houses when they're listed. Anytime somebody gives you a great review or compliment, you want to post that and say another satisfied client. If something exciting is going on in real estate, such as interest rates are falling, you'd want to post, hey, interest rates are falling. It's a great time to buy a house. Whatever you can think of related to your business, you need to put that out there. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't have to be highly graphical. It doesn't have to be, extremely great. It just needs to be done. And then as you do it, you'll get more comfortable with it, and it will go along a lot faster. The second thing I think that people fail to do in Facebook is tell your story. And, I think everybody knows my story is baseball and beer. I mean, those are the two things that I really like in life. I love baseball, which unfortunately I think we'll never play this year. And I love good craft beer. And so I post a lot of things on Facebook, like if I'm at a new brewery or if I'm at a baseball stadium or I'm, something of that nature. I like to post that kind of stuff because it tells the story of who I am. And so I think a lot of people get lost in the weeds where they post everything under the sun, which is fine for your family, but it I think it dilutes your story a little bit. So find out what it is about you that makes you, you, whether it's lake living or it's beach living or it's your classic car, whatever. And I think it's better to kind of concentrate on some of that stuff because you want people to know you as a person, and people want to know you as a person when they hire you. And so I think the more you do that, the better off you'll be. So
I think I want to just kind of touch on what Gary's talking about too. When I used to deal with clients, they would say, well, why do I need social media? Why do I need Facebook and Instagram? Because your website is like a gift. It's like a birthday gift. It's wrapped. It's really pretty wrapping paper, and it kind of gives a very just broad sense of what might be inside. And your social media, that is where you're going to show people who exactly you are. Like Gary said, on a more personal level, like, what it is about him that makes him unique as an attorney, but you're going to do that as a real estate agent. And so that is what social media is for. It's to show everybody what's special about you, because when you get presented with a pretty gift, you're like, oh, wow, this is gorgeous. You don't want to just stare at the outside of the package. You want to dig into it, because what's inside has got to be even better than how the package is wrapped. So think of your website or your business cards or whatever as your birthday gift. And then think of your social media as the actual gift. Like you are giving them a little piece of who you are and what you have to offer them. And that's what I used to tell all of my clients. And I had national brands that would come to me and say, we really need social media. Yes, you do, because that is how people are communicating these days. And that is how they're figuring out they're going to your website to figure out your phone number, where you're located, and who works there. That's what they're going to your website for. They're not really going there to see all about you. They're going to your social media to see all about you and what you have to offer. So that's why you want that to be really special. Which
reminds me about the present. On July 1st, I think it's going to be the date we do it, at 11 o'clock webinar. My friend Stephen Feuderall, who owns Just Legal Marketing, who started out doing marketing mainly for lawyers and now has gone out into other areas. He is a website guru. He has done our website, and now we're getting ready to redo it with him again. But if you look at our website, blaircato.com, you can see the good quality work that he did. And this is 5 years old. So the new one that's going to come out in the next couple of months is going to be even better. But he's going to talk about websites, why real estate agents need them, and then how to do websites on a budget. And, a lot of y'all's websites, I have to admit, I've seen a lot of real estate agent websites that are just, I can't find your phone number on it. If I can't, when I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to call you, and I have to look through 6 or 7 different websites, and I finally find you on realtor.com with your telephone number, you got a problem. Because like Claudia said, your website's for us to find you. If I can't even find you on your website sucks. So anyway, all right, let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be video marketing. And I'll just spend a few minutes on this. I think everybody knows I am huge into video marketing. I think it is an absolute must in 2020 marketing. If you are not doing video marketing, I think you are completely missing the boat here. If you will look back in, say, 15, 20 years ago and look at the MLS and look at the agents that were top agents when the internet wasn't as big as the internet is now, or before cell phones were on everybody's hip and everybody could do everything on their phone they can do on their computer, look at those agents pre that time and see where those agents, the top 10 agents were then, and then look at where they are now. Most of them are not top 10 agents anymore, because when the internet first started coming out in 1995 through 96, 97 is when people started using it on a business aspect. There were a lot of people, including myself, who thought, oh, it's just something to use for entertainment. This is not going to work. Those agents who quickly flipped and said, no, this is a business tool, continued to rise. And those agents who looked at it as a nuisance, their business continued to falter over the years. If you look at when smartphones became very popular, those that went to mobile devices and figured out how to make mobile sites and things of that nature, those agents continue to prosper. Today, we are looking at video marketing as kind of the new next thing. If you look at agents like Patrick O'Connor and Sarah Bennett, those guys are killing it and their businesses are showing it. So I know people don't like video, seeing themselves on video. I hate it. I can't stand it. But the more I've done it, the more comfortable I've gotten at it. I went to a webinar in Denver, Colorado, back about this time last year. And the guy who was speaking basically has $40 and $50 million listings in Beverly Hills. He's wearing $5,000 worth of clothes. I looked at him and was like, man, this guy's got it put on. He's got it together. And he confessed. He goes, I hate the way I look and I hate the way I sound. He said, but you know what? I look like that video and I sound like that video. And once I realized that I look and I sound exactly like that, just get over it and let's move on. And so once he kind of said that, I just said, it is what it is. And he said, the other thing is that when you say and hun, you scratch your face or you cough in the video, it's more genuine. It's who we are as human beings. When we present things, we're not like TV reporters. We're not, keep it classy, San Diego, Ron Burgundy. We're normal people. And so you got to be normal when you do it. And sometimes you stutter for words, sometimes you search for words, and it just is what it is. So video is not difficult. And I promise, if you go back and look at the first videos that I did through my legal tips, a year and a half ago, they're horrific, in my opinion. They're just awful. The background was terrible. The sound wasn't very good. I didn't know what to do. The videos were kind of disconjointed. Now, when I do a video, I know how to do it. I can do one in 30 seconds or 2 or 3 minutes, and they're good to go. And so they're very easy to do. And the platforms now versus what we had 2 or 3 years ago is very simplistic. You can do a video to a targeted person, to a targeted group, and it's just a matter of clicking and doing it. And when I set up one of those legal tip videos, from the time I begin to the time I finish, I can be done in 4 or 5 minutes. It doesn't take me forever. So what agents need to do, in my opinion, to stay ahead of the curve or to even get ahead of the curve is sit down and think about how I could use video in my marketing. I think you can do it on a macro level and you can do it on a micro level. So let's talk about the macro level. On the macro level, if y'all, if I was to buy a house through you, most of y'all would send me a card within a week afterwards thanking me for that, for working with you. And I would probably take the card, look at it and go, well, that's very nice, and not throw it in the garbage. And then you're going to send me another newsletter or another card about 30 days later. And then you probably send me one about 6 months later. And the whole time I'm getting it, I'm like, I just bought a house from them. Why are they sending me a card? I don't want to buy another house. And so all that's going into the garbage. And maybe I get on your mailing list of all those newsletters that are interesting, that everybody sends the same newsletter out. I get the same one from like 4 agents. In fact, a lender one time sent us one at Christmas time or at football season with a football and had my name written on it. I got the exact same card from 7 of them. Boy, I felt special. So it had no feel to it. It all went in the garbage. So instead of doing that kind of stuff or doing, like the newsletter on the micro level, why not do or macro level, why not do your newsletter as a video newsletter? It's a lot better received. People get to see and go, oh, hey, there's Gary again. I hadn't seen him since he helped us with our house. It keeps your face in front of them. It keeps your name in front of them. It keeps you top of mind. And it's a lot more entertaining and it's a lot more enjoyable. And I'm more likely to listen to what you have to say than to sit down and read some newsletter about real estate that I don't even care about. Okay. And the second thing with the macro level is you can have a call to action. You can ask somebody in a very clear and concise way. If you have somebody that they're looking, or if you're somebody who's looking to buy a house, or you know somebody who's looking to buy a house, please ask them to give me a call. The telephone number written here on your screen. And you've made that call to action. The call of action is so important in marketing, and a lot of agents don't like to make the call of action. You've got to ask for the call to action. Now, on the micro level, this is something, and I love the macro level. I've made a whole career out of the macro level. The macro level, I have 4,600 people who now follow me in my legal tip, and I get so many closings off my legal tips. I'm telling you, it works. People will come up to me in restaurants or church or whatever and start talking to me about a legal tip. I don't even know who they are. They're one of 4,700 people who follow me, but it's created its own buzz, and it really works. Now, on the micro level, think about it this way. There's 3 times you deal with a consumer on a micro level that video would be much better than an email. Number 1 is when I'm cold calling you. If I pick up the phone and say, hey, I saw your listing. I think it's pretty interesting. I might be interested. After you hang up with me, you're going to send me an email. And it's going to have all your listing information. It's going to be this long of writing that I'm just not going to read. Because I tell you, they've done plenty of studies on this. The average American reads 3 sentences of an email and then they hit delete. The average American has a 7-second attention span. We're less than goldfish now. So you better grab my attention quick. And your email, it's boring, so I've already deleted it. So what you need to do instead of doing that is, how much better would it be that after we had our phone call, you followed up with a video email to me that takes you 1 minute to say, Gary, I really enjoyed talking with you about houses in Wood Creek Farms. I hope that I can help you in the future, and I'd love to be your agent. Here's a list of a couple of houses you might want to look at. And by the way, there's some more information about my company. Please give me a call when you're ready to buy a house, because I'll be here for you. That's so much better than your faceless, nameless, boring email. So you can do that when people make cold calls to you. You can do that throughout that whole pre-signing somebody up stage. And all you have to do is sit down with a pen and paper in a quiet room, not while you're working, but sit down when you need to think and say, what are all the times that I communicate with somebody pre-signing of a contract with me, and figure out which one of those would be better through a video versus which ones of those would be better with an email. And not everything's video, but most of it should be. Then on the second part of that, think on the micro level. Once you sign me as a client, you're going to email me all my paperwork. Again, that's kind of a boring email. How about a more exciting email with you and a couple of agents in the office got around going, hey, congratulations, we're assigned you as an agent, or as a client. We're so excited. Here's all your information, almost like a celebration. Same thing when you sign a contract. They sign a contract that's ratified. You could have like a congratulations video with you and some friends saying, congratulations, you're about to be a homeowner. All of that is much better done with video than it is with email. You could explain documents a lot better. Think of the home inspections. or the termite letter, the heating and air letter. All that can be explained a lot better by, here's a screen capture of your termite letter. Let's walk through it and let me point the highlights to you. When you do that, here's what's going to happen. The one buyer that you email it to will immediately email it to their spouse or partner. They will then email it to their parents. They will then take it to work and they'll email it to 4 or 5 people at work and tell the people, look at what my real estate agent's done. And the next thing you know, that video that was intended for your 2 clients has been viewed by 19 or 20 people. And with BombBomb, I can track that. What has that done? It's put your name, your business, your logos out in front of all those other people and shows everybody else what a great agent you are, and you differentiated. I'm from Spartanburg like Ashton.
I used to be a speech therapist.
We fall over those words, but it helps you to do that. And now all of a sudden you're standing out from everybody. And then the final part of the video is think on the back end, all the touch points you have on the back end. Like I said, the cards that I throw away. Wouldn't it be a lot more effective if you did a video the day after and saying, Gary, I just want to tell you how excited I am for Emily and you and your whole family. I just know y'all going to love that house, and I just can't wait to see your kids grow up in it. Wouldn't that feel much better than even a personal written card? To me, that's just, you took time out to say that to me in a video really says that you care about me. And then 30 days later, you send me another video going, hey, Gary, I just wanted to make sure you and Emily are still enjoying your house. I'm still here. If you need a painter, a landscaper, a car washer, if you need any information, you give me a call. You're looking for a church in the neighborhood, whatever, I'll have all that information. And oh, by the way, if you have any would think would enjoy working with me, how about give me their names? I'll be happy to give them a call for you. And you can do that along the way for a full year. BombBomb allows you to go ahead and schedule all of that stuff out. You can do a lot of it as canned videos. You can say things like, I hope you are having a great day. Instead of saying, Ashton, I hope you're having a great day. You can say, hey, I really enjoyed working with you and your family on this house. Ashton gets the video. She thinks it's personalized because she doesn't know our little trick of just saying you to her 15 times. She thinks I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to anybody. So there's a lot of things you can do with video. I love BombBomb. It's like $39 a month. There's other video platforms. Personally, I don't think they're as good, but pick whatever video platform you want. I think it would work just fine. But I'm a big fan of it. And I will do a video breakout on session. I don't know what day am I doing mine.
So we have a couple that we need to talk about. There's 7/7.
I think I'm on July 7th with a breakout on how to use BombBomb in all the ways. But your homework tonight is think about all the different ways you could use video marketing by thinking of the touch points you have with your consumer before you sign them up, after you sign them up, and after they close on a house. Think of those touch points, and once you get those touch points, how can you make each one of those touch points better? Okay, so that's video marketing. Now, the last thing we're going to hit you with, because we got like 2 minutes left, is a tool that's not going to help make you money, but it's going to save you time. And I think every real estate agent would say making more money would be by having more time, because right now the day's 24 hours. If I could pay some money to make my day 28 hours, I'd write a big check today, because I don't have enough time at work or at home to deal with what I need to get dealt with before I go to bed. And so time is of the essence. Time is the most important factor in things we have right now. So this will help save you time. So earnest money is a pain in the butt. Nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody's holding earnest money. It's so difficult to deal with it. You're having to get the checks, taking them to the lawyer's office. I don't want you in your car having to drive down here ever again to drop off an earnest money check. I want it to be wherever you are, whatever day of the week, whatever time of the night it is, you can send us earnest money. If you're meeting a client at 4 o'clock in the morning in Casey, South Carolina, and you want to send that money to us, you don't have to hold that money until Monday. You can go ahead and send it right then. Here's how you do it. On my phone, I have this app, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it to focus, but there's an app right there called Zoccam. That's Zoccam, Zoccam. And once you go sign up, you can go to any Apple store or to the Amazon store, not Amazon, the Android store. Download the app, Zoccam. Ashley, will you type that in for us there to everybody? When you download it, it's going to ask you to enter your agent, your name, the agency you work with, where your company is located, and ask for your license number. I don't care about your license number. We don't need it. It's going to ask you to set up a password. And then once you do, you're going to come up to a screen that looks just like this. Once you get it open and you're ready to go, all you have to do is click on the Zoccam app, and it's going to bring you into the sign-up page. The sign-up's always going to be your cell phone number, so you hit your cell phone number in, and then you hit your 8-digit code, which mine's simple to remember. And once you do that, it brings you up to this page here that allows you to capture a check. That's the one right there. It says capture on it. I don't know if you can send it. Once you hit capture, it's going to ask you for earnest money. That's what you're going to do. And the only thing I need to show you right here is it says what title company. When you're typing in the title company, all you have to do is type in Blair, It's going to bring up my cool little logo right there. There's the Blair Cato logo. You click on that. It says you selected Blair Cato to give you confirmation that's where you want to do it. You say yes. You enter in your zip code. So you can enter in 29202 or whatever, and it brings up the Columbia one. And so it'll allow you to pick out whichever office, because we have a Columbia one and a Greenville one. And so once you pick it up, all it does now is it brings you here to this page. It's kind of hard. It's picking up wrong. It's picking up some stuff. There you go. It asks you to enter in the address, the buyer's name, the loan amount, or the amount of the check. All I'm really care about here is I need to know somebody's name that goes with this check and the address of the property and the amount. That's all I care about. I don't need all this other information. Just fill out that. You're good to go. And then at the bottom there in this blue line, it says capture. Once you hit capture, it's going to then take you to your camera. You put the check on the table. You take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back. You hit send, and once you send it, it'll say, your check has been received by Blair Cato. Thank you very much. There's your confirmation that we've got your information. At that point, you write void on the check, hand the check back to your client, and you're good to go. And yes, you can use out of country, as long as it's an American bank check. I think it has to be American bank, doesn't it? So as long as it's, so if you've got somebody in the military who's in Afghanistan, they got their Bank of America checkbook with them, they can do it right there. And you can tell them about the app, and they can do the app themselves. So it is super, super cool. Now here's the best thing. The cost to you on that, y'all remember this, zero. Doesn't cost you a penny. We pay $10 every time you use it, but Blair Cato decided that's a cost we're going to eat. So all we ask is please don't send us our money if you made this huge mistake of using another lawyer to do the closing. Don't send me that money. I mean, you already made a mistake by using somebody else, and now you're gonna make a mistake by sending me the money. It cost me $10. Let's don't compound that mistake. Just send it directly to us. Let us do the closing, and then send us the earnest money. We're good to go. All right. Sound good?
All right, Gary, can I wrap us up?
Wrap us up.
Okay, so y'all have some homework before our breakout sessions start. So the first thing you're going to do is on Kelly's screen. If you are in the Greenville area, you're going to text the number that has a G beside it. You're in the Columbia area, you're going to text the number that has a C beside it. And you're going to type in the box. Once it greets you, or once you pull up your text message, you're going to type there, what can I ask you? And it'll give you a list of all kinds of stuff that you can start out asking Alana, whether you have a file open with us or not. So that is your first piece of homework. Okay, your second piece of homework is, if you have not already been added to Breakthrough Broker by Blair Cato, you need to type your name. I'm sorry, we've got your name. You need to type your email address and your phone number in the chat here, and we will send you an invitation to join Breakthrough Broker through Blair Cato. So do that if you have not already been signed up with us, because you are going to absolutely love it. Okay, your next piece of homework, sorry, I'm like a bad teacher giving you all this homework. Your next thing that you're gonna do, you're going to make sure that you have your Facebook business page set up. And if you do, you're going to go in and add your credit card, and you're going to do your first boosted post between now and when we do the breakout session, because I want to hear from you on how that worked and how many views you got and what your engagement was like on that. So make sure you do that for Facebook. For Instagram, you're going to go in and you're going to set up an Instagram business page. And after you set up your Instagram business page, I want you to post to your story and add something to your highlight reel like Ashton was telling you to. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Breakthrough Broker, and Alana. And then I want all of you, after this is over, to go to your phone, and I want you to add the Zachem app to your phone. So I know that's a lot. And then also between now and Gary's breakout session, I want all of y'all to try some form of video marketing. So whether you use just the camera on your phone to send it to them, or whether you use a platform like BombBomb like Gary uses, or whatever. So that's your homework. And then I also want to tell you about our dates. So July 1st is with Stephen Futerall, and that is on your websites. June 23rd is the first one we have coming up. June 23rd is Breakthrough Broker with Kelly. And then July 1st is going to be with Stephen Futerall on websites. Then July 7th is going to be video marketing with Gary. July 14th is going to be Facebook and Instagram with me and Ashton. And then on I think that's it for these 6 things.
13,
Yep.
And July 13, 17 for
Oh,
new
yeah,
agents.
for the new agents.
All right. And I just got good news. Major League Baseball is nearing an agreement, so we may actually get Major League Baseball
Very
this
good.
year. Whew, it's awful. Think about not having baseball. All right, so that should be everything for y'all today. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we will see y'all at the next one of the webinars. Y'all take care.
I need you to go there and say chat. Don't end yet. Just go say chat.
Claudia, we had the Facebook post, Zocom, Instagram, Breakthrough Broker. What else was their homework? I was trying to type it out for them.
They also need to call the text the Alana numbers that Kelly had posted.
Okay.
So I think they might still be in the chat. Anyway, yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, Zocom, a video, and then do the Alana and also enter their information so we can add them to Breakthrough Broker.
Okay. It's all there for them.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.